We are live.
What up? How's it going?
How's it going? It's going good. I said this over on the Bletchley Discord, and I'll say it here on the record. This is the highlight of my week.
Boom. You know
Highlight.
what? That's what I strive to be for people is the highlight of their week. So thank you.
I just
I've reached
love getting lost in this weird little
nonsense
world
world.
that we created. So
Yeah, that we're like kind of gods technically because like we can really it can really be whatever we want, but I don't think we're very good at being gods in the sense that we I never really feel like I'm in control.
no, we're a little too frantic. A little too frantic. But yeah, where do we leave off?
Okay,
Where
so
what's on the
last
agenda?
week we got cut short because we had internet problems, but
Yes, we did.
this week last time we played, we had there was like this creepy guy who was like beckoning at us from the side from like an alleyway, and we were like, "Excuse me, you look scary." So we sort of like ran in the opposite direction, and we were like running down a different alleyway trying to get away from this man because he started following us. Um, and there was like a random part of the alleyway where there were like words etched into the stone and they started glowing. And so we touched them and we got transported to some scary realm where there was like some big monster thing that was telling us what were they saying? I think they said that you should not have come here or something like that.
Mm.
But then we touched the magical stone that we had, and there was like an aura of light that appeared around us, and there was some sort of weird, like glowing angel person walking next to us as well.
I do remember the glowing.
Yeah, I remember that. And then we got transported back. And then it was at this point that I was like, I want this story to have a villain. So I told ChatGPT to give us a villain. And they turned this man who was following us into the villain. And he said a lot of vague things about that were, sort of vaguely villainous, but I still don't know what his deal is. He seems just mad.
Mm.
He did say that we were gonna somehow help him meet his goals of destroying everything, I think.
He just doesn't even know us.
I know. Again, vaguely villainous, like nothing specific. So
I think they just made him cranky.
really, he's so cranky.
We should get his backstory.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's pull up
Where we left.
chat.
So sharing screen. All right. Now I always have to reshuffle so I can still see you.
Yes. Let's there we go. That looks
blah,
great.
blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, we had to tell ChatGPT yesterday or last time we played was one of the times where we were like, can you like be a little more succinct, please?
I think that's what killed your internet. Working way too hard just producing this novel.
Okay, so okay, he was banished for crimes beyond his understanding. His eyes burned with intensity. Now I will tear the walls between worlds, and you will either help me or perish. But you realize something he doesn't. The stone in your possession, a piece of the very realm he wants to control. He has no idea you hold the power to stop him. I don't really know how the stone is that powerful, but okay. I guess ChatGPT will figure it out.
Not our problem.
So we want the backstory.
Yeah, let's learn more about the robed man. What makes him the villain?
I just feel like they're just slipping a little into the vague world, and I don't like it. Avoid vague statements, please.
Wait, have you So I ran into the issue recently where I ran out of memory on ChatGPT, so I had to like clear out all of the stuff that
That's intense. I just don't
for
use it that
things that,
much.
oh man, I use it a little
I mean,
too much.
respect. I will say I do kind of like the voice feature that they have that you can sort of
Ooh,
like
I don't
talk
even
to
use
it.
that.
That's what is going on here? That's probably one of the main ways I do end up using it. Sometimes I get bored when I'm like building furniture out of cardboard in my bedroom or something like that, and I like need something to spend time on, and so I will turn that on, and I'll just like have a little conversations, and we talk about stupid crap. But
I love it. I love it. Well, so I use it a lot
what is it?
for um like writing copy for like marketing emails or
Totally.
event descriptions and all. And so I was going through the memory and deleting things that for like projects that have passed. I just don't need anymore. And I came across this one memory and I took a screenshot of it and I did not delete it because I need it to remember. But it just says, Michelle prefers not to use the term good vibes in her communication. I just,
It's a personal preference, you
I
know?
just thought that was so funny.
I don't know what is happening. Like, because I refreshed
Hello.
and we're not getting anything. Are you there?
Hello.
What's going on, ChatGPT?
There
Okay.
we go.
That was so strange. Okay. Yes, I'm here. Um, sometimes ChatGPT can have a bad attention span too. It's okay. Backstory of the robed man. Okay, so his name. Okay, we have a name. His name is Taryn Grimvale.
A little on the nose, but okay.
Tyrone Grimvale. I don't know. I'm going with Taryn because it just comes out faster. Herod Grimvale was once a respected scholar and occultist in Lothar, known for his work in ancient texts and the study of forbidden realms. He had an insatiable hunger for knowledge, pushing the boundaries of what the human mind could comprehend. His obsession began when he uncovered an ancient scroll that spoke of a hidden realm, an interdimensional prison where powerful, forgotten entities were trapped. These beings, if released, would grant unimaginable power to whoever could control them. Taryn's descent into darkness started as a noble pursuit, driven by a desire to unlock new sources of power for humanity. But as he delved deeper into the scroll's secrets, he became consumed by the idea of breaking the barrier between the world of Lothar and the prison realm. He believed that by doing so, he could free these ancient beings and gain control over their powers. However, his colleagues in the okay, this is very long. However, his colleagues in the academic and magical circles began to grow suspicious of his increasingly erratic behavior and dark experiments. They warned him to stop, but Terran was far beyond reason. When his work endangered the city, summoning terrifying creatures during his attempt to breach the realm, the Council of Lothar had no choice but to act. In a desperate bid to prevent him from tearing the fabric of reality, the Council used ancient magic to banish Terran into the very realm he sought to unleash. There, he was trapped alongside the entities he had tried to free, forced to wander in a dark, endless limbo filled with powerful beings that tormented him. Over decades, Terran learned to survive in the prison realm, gaining control over its shadows and dark energies. He became one with the realm, mastering its secrets and growing stronger by binding himself to its power. However, his goal has never changed. He would return to Lothar and shatter the barrier completely, unleashing chaos and reclaiming the power he believed was his destiny. Now back in Lothar, Terran seeks to finish what he started. His banishment has twisted his soul, making him more dangerous and ruthless than ever before. He views the city as a mere obstacle in his quest for power, and anyone standing in his way as expendable. All he needs is a key, a person or object capable of fully breaching the barrier, and he believes you are that key. Terran Grimvale's backstory paints him as a man corrupted by ambition, driven to reclaim the power he was denied. His motives are rooted in a twisted sense of purpose, and he sees no value in the world if it stands between him and his ultimate goal. One question is, like, how does the artifact that we stole relate to this? Because it's supposed to. This is the thing. ChatGPT forgets the story they're telling.
Well,
okay, so he is from the prison realm. Dark name.
Yeah, right.
It's
very scary.
Very scary. Part of me is like, should we just free everyone? Why are they in prison? Are there visiting hours? Can we have conversations with them and like ask what they did? Who's the judge of this prison realm? I would like you to explain the judiciary system.
I know, what's their justice system like? Oh, you muted yourself.
Hello. My mic was unplugged, and I guess this software immediately mutes you when it happens.
All right, so we know this guy's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Where did we last leave off with him in like the story itself?
He had told us this that
right. Okay.
And I think we're just like in an alleyway, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I mean, I think we should go back to our posse personally.
And should we tell them what we saw?
Yeah, I feel like that will help ChatGPT blend those two stories together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe ask it to tie in, like make the artifact significant.
Yeah.
I miss the posse.
What should we tell Terran when we walk away from him?
Should we say that will help him? Because we're scared. Because we're scared and we don't want to. We're caught off guard.
Yeah. Okay.
So we agree to help him because he seems very dangerous and we don't want.
I flatter Terran. And try to appeal to his ego, which I think is massive. I wonder how ChatGPT will do with that, which I think is massive. I tell him I will help him and try to escape for the time being. Maybe that. I plan to go immediately to my team and tell them what has happened. You straighten up, your mind racing as Terran looms over you, the shadows swirling around him, his robed figure. You put on your most convincing smile, knowing that appealing to his ego might be the only way out of this for now. Terran Grimvale, you say, your voice smooth.
Oh, no.
I've heard the stories, of course. They don't do you justice to survive that realm, to master it the way you have. It's remarkable.
Oh my God, we're probably so good in job interviews.
Yeah, we're the personality hire. We really are in this story. Like, we're totally the personality hire with our team as well.
Yeah, I feel like we work in sales. No offense to sales.
You could accomplish what you've done. Ooh, you step forward slightly, your tone growing more reverent. You're far beyond the rest of us. No one in Lothar could ever hope to match your power. His glowing eyes narrow, but he doesn't stop you from speaking. You sense you've caught his attention. I've seen firsthand how this city squanders its knowledge, its potential. They banished you because they feared you, didn't they? They didn't understand, but I do. I see it now. You were right all along. Terran tilts his head, intrigued, his voice cold and hollow, drips with both suspicion and curiosity. And you think you can help me, mortal? You believe you have value in my grand plan? You nod quickly, heart pounding. Yes, I can. I've been to the places they fear. I've seen what you seek to unleash. I understand the forces at play, and I'm willing to help you. They've hidden powerful relics, knowledge that can help you fully breach the barrier, but I'll need time to gather it. Terran watches you closely, the dark tendrils of mist swirling closer around his body. For a tense moment, you're not sure if he'll buy it, but then he lets out a low, guttural laugh. Time, mortal, is something I have plenty of. His smile is twisted, but you sense a flicker of satisfaction at your praise. Do not think I won't be watching. You nod again, bowing slightly to sell the act, and then slowly back away. He doesn't follow, content in the belief that he's gained a willing ally. As soon as you're out of sight, you turn and run, your heart pounding in your chest. Your mind is racing as you weave through the dark streets of Lothar, desperate to reach your team. You've bought yourself some time, but you know it's only a matter of hours before Terran expects results and failure isn't an option. You arrive at the agreed upon meeting place, breathless, the weight of what just happened heavy on your shoulders. Now you must warn Serafina, Felix, and Gavin. Time is running out. What do you do next?
Well, we got ourselves into a pickle.
We do have ourselves in a
We
pickle.
we haven't even gotten the chance to debrief on the auction.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to. That's what they think we're doing.
Right.
Like they think we're here to just do that.
So let's I'm assuming we meet them at the tavern.
Yeah. Should we like check in with them to see how they're doing? Because they're the ones who like are being hunted. We're sort of chill.
Yeah, let's just say like meet Serafina, Felix, and Gavin at the tavern. First, debrief from last night's shenanigans at the auction.
You burst into the whispering flame, the tavern you agreed to meet the others at, trying to appear calm despite the urgency boiling inside you. The place is dimly lit, and the usual crowd murmurs quietly in their corners, but your eyes immediately find your team at a secluded table in the back. Serafina sits with her usual sharp focus waiting, or quietly sipping a drink, while Gavin is hunched over a crumpled map, muttering to himself. Felix is nervously fidgeting with a napkin, folding it, unfolding it, and then folding it again. You slide into the seat, catching your breath as they all look up. How'd it go? Serafina asked, her eyes narrowing. You look like you've seen a ghost. Or worse, Felix adds, his eyes wide with concern. Gavin doesn't even glance up from his map, but just mumbles. Probably ran into the same cursed wind that took us through half the city last night. What? What is he talking about? Cursed wind? I don't remember any cursed wind. Okay. You lean forward, keeping your voice low. First, how are you all holding up? Things have been quiet here. Serafina gives a small shrug. Quite enough. I've been doing some research on the artifact. It's cursed. I feel like ChatGPT forgot that these people are like most wanted.
Maybe should we go back and edit?
Yeah.
let's
rewrite this.
I think you can just edit the message that you sent.
Oh wait.
Go scroll up.
Really? No way.
Edit,
That's cool.
Mention or just say like remember we're on our photos are on the front page of the newspaper for being most wanted after causing a scene and stealing the artifact.
But my face was not recognizable because I had made an illusion that made me super jacked. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that in ChatGPT.
I think it might be a new feature.
Okay, you step into the whispering flame. Blah 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 blah. The place is bustling as usual, with patrons deep in their drinks and conversations, but you can feel a few eyes linger on the wanted posters scattered around. Each one shows the face of Serafina, Felix, and Gavin, clear as day and impossible to miss. Your own face, fortunately, doesn't appear on any of them thanks to the illusion you created during the auction. You spot your crew tucked into a corner booth, looking more on edge than usual. Serafina has a newspaper in front of her, her face twisted in frustration. Felix sits across from her, wringing his hands nervously while Gavin absently traces invisible routes on the table with his finger clearly distracted. As you approach, Serafina looks up at you and smirks. Well, well, look who decided to stroll in. How does it feel to be the only one not plastered across every wall in Lothar? Felix lets out a shaky laugh, though he looks like he hadn't slept in days. You got lucky with that illusion of yours. They're looking for us everywhere. Gavin finally glances up, giving you a half smile. If only they'd drawn me with a bit more hair. Looks like I'm getting older faster than I realize. You sit down, glancing around to make sure no one is paying too much attention. How are you all holding up? Serafina sighs and gestures to the paper. Not great. We've been laying low since the auction, but it's only a matter of time before someone recognizes us. People are on edge, and we're right in the middle of it. Felix nods quickly. I think I saw someone watching me earlier. Or maybe I'm just paranoid. I don't know anymore. He glances nervously at the door. Gavin leans back in his seat, clearly trying to act nonchalant. We've handled worse, but this is cutting it close. So what have you been up to? Now's your chance. You tell them about Taryn and what you've gotten and what you've gotten yourself into. What do you do? Okay, weird that you're just jumping to that. Okay. Okay, so they're sort of like nervous but chilling, I guess.
Kind of crazy that there are those wanted posters plastered all over the tavern.
Of the tavern,
Clear
right.
as day, and they're just hanging out in the tavern. No one seems to
What if
notice them.
I nonchalantly, I don't know how to spell that. Thank you, computer. Or as best as I agree.
Oh, you muted yourself again. You muted again. I can't unmute you. Oh no. Joelle, you're muted. All right, let's send Joelle a little slacky slack.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. It looked like you were having a good time.
My computer muting myself.
That's wild.
Okay, this needs to be a safe place, is what I was saying.
Okay.
So we're going around, and we're going to take those posters down. You give them a nod, doing your best to appear calm. I'll grab a drink first, and then we can talk. With a casual stride, You head to the bar, doing your best to blend in with the crowd. You order a drink, leaning on the counter as you scan the room. The tavern is noisy enough that no one seems to pay you much attention except for the bartender, who hands over your drink with a raised eyebrow, probably recognizing the tension in the air, but smart enough to avoid questions. Drink in hand, you meander through the room, your eyes flicking to the posters pinned to the walls. One in particular near the entrance shows a clear likeness to Seraphina, her eyes sharp and determined, features unmistakable. You approach it slowly, as if lost in thought, taking a sip of your drink with as much direction as you can muster, or discretion as you can muster. You casually let your fingers brush the edge of the poster, and in one swift motion, you pull it down, folding it neatly and tucking it into your coat. You spot another near the stairs, featuring a somewhat anxious-looking Felix. Repeating the same casual maneuver, you grab that one too. It's a small but necessary move, and no one seems to notice. You make your way back to the table where the crew waits, their expression still tense. Did you miss us? Seraphina asked with a raised eyebrow, her voice low but sharp. You drop the folded posters on the table, keeping your tone light. Just doing some cleanup. Now let's talk. Okay. Okay, so we need to, like, the two things are, like, we need to tell them about Taryn.
Mm-hmm.
We also probably need to check, like, does Seraphina still have the artifact that she stole?
Let's ask her.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes. Can you hear me?
Hear you. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
Ah.
Can you hear me?
Audio. Okay. I think I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. It's okay.
All right. It's my headset. It's being lame.
Technology. Am I right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So those are the two things I think we need to do. Do you have any ideas?
I think we should just take it one step at a time. Let's figure out what's going on with the artifact.
Okay. What should we say? Like, how should we ask?
Did we all leave together?
Oh, ask them that question. Did we all leave together?
Well, no, I'm just wondering if you remember. Did we leave the auction together? But that comes out really.
We kind of did. Like we made it out of the auction together, but then we sort of scattered right away after.
Let's ask Seraphina what happened after she left the auction. And
what if we just asked her a vague question and see if ChatGPT can remember?
Sure.
Like, because it's probably how I would do it if I were in this situation. Like, I wouldn't just like blurt out, "Do you have the magical artifact?" Like, I would probably be like, "So, you still got it?"
Sure.
Let's see.
Ask Seraphina what happened after she left.
Fina, and say, what happened when Mike again. What happened after you left? I take a awkward pause and ask, "Do you still have it?" Seraphina meets your gaze, your eyes narrowing slightly as she leans back in her seat. She takes a deep breath before answering, clearly weighing her words. "After we split, things got messy," she said in a low voice. "Had to shake off a couple watcher goons who were sniffing around. Lucky for us, they're both focused on the panic we caused and putting names to faces. For now." She pauses, her fingers tapping lightly on the table, as if running through the events in her mind. Then, with a subtle glance around the room, she leans in closer, her voice barely a whisper. "And yeah, I've still got it." She pulls back her coat slightly, revealing a small dark pouch tucked away, the artifact hidden within. Her fingers graze the pouch, briefly before she pulls her coat closed again, her expression tense. But this thing, it's heavier than it looks. There's something off about it, more than I expected. We need to figure out what we're dealing with fast. Felix, who's been silent, fidgets nervously. Do you think it's cursed? Gavin chuckles softly. When are things not cursed? Serafina shoots him a glance, but you can tell the gravity of the situation has everyone on edge. What do you do? Okay, cool. So she still has the artifact. She was sort of like dodging goons.
I would expect nothing less from her. Like, she is so competent.
Truly, I would want her on my team.
Yeah.
Okay, so I ask them, have any of you ever heard of the prison realm? Such a dark name. Like, ugh. Serafina raises an eyebrow at your question, her expression turning cautious. Prison realm, she repeats, her voice steady but curious. Sounds like something straight out of one of Gavin's old maps. Gavin, who had been casually tracing invisible routes on the table, perks up. Prison realm, you say? He scratches his beard thoughtfully. I've heard tales, whispers really, about a place beyond the physical where dangerous entities are locked away. It's not a place you find on any map, though, more myth than reality. Felix, pale as ever, frowns deeply. Why would you ask about that? Are you dealing with something from there? His voice wavers, clearly unnerved by the thought. You look at them seriously. The man who's been following me, Karen Grimvale, he's from the prison realm. He was banished there, and now he's trying to tear down the barrier between that world and ours. He thinks I'm the key to helping him do it. Serafina's eyes widen slightly, her face hardening. And let me guess, this artifact is tied to that realm? You nod. I think so, and Taryn's not going to stop until he has it. The table falls into a tense silence as the gravity of the situation sinks in. You've all heard of cursed artifacts and dangerous magic before, but the prison realm is something else entirely. A place beyond Lithar's already twisted reality. Gavin leans in, his voice low. If that's the case, we need to move fast. Once people know we're tied to something like this, they won't be hunting us, they'll want to bury us. Serafina nods grimly. So, what's the plan? What do you do? Why are you asking us what the plan is? We're the personality hire here. Serafina. Okay, well, so, I mean, like, first, we probably need to manage the whole, like, they're wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what if we just ask? Because, like, my brain is like, I can think of ways these people can solve that problem, but I don't want to, like, give, like I'm thinking of like outcomes prompt of like, because like Gavin probably could help solve it because he's like the map expert and probably knows about a lot of like hidden passageways and stuff. Felix could probably solve it because he knows how to make disguises.
So do we want to fix this one thing first and then move on to the Terran thing?
Or do we move on to Taryn now?
Hmm?
What do we need to do about Taryn?
I don't know. What's the plan?
I don't know. I mean, so like, I mean, they need to be able to move around the city without fear of being discovered. So that definitely has to be a thing we do. And then, like, I don't know what we do with this. Like, do we just destroy the artifact? Like, we stole the artifact. Will Serafina let us destroy the artifact? Like, she wanted it because it's tied to her brother's death.
I'm kind of curious to know what she has in mind for it.
Yeah. Okay.
What does she
I
want to do?
recall why Seraphina wanted to steal the artifact. That it was involved in her brother's death. And that she wanted to avenge him. Avenge him and take down the Veiled Watchers. I wonder what Seraphina thinks about. I wonder what Seraphina thinks we should do with the artifact. Because she's also, isn't she? Oh yeah, I forgot that she's an expert on powerful artifacts. That's like her thing. She's an expert on magical artifacts. Actually, what if I just do... Yeah. Okay. Okay. I say, Seraphina, you're an expert on magical artifacts, and you've had time to... And you've had that one in your possession. Possession? How do you spell? Is it all S's? No. Wait. Possession? Yeah. For a while. What do you think? With the artifact, I don't know how to say this to her, so I say instead. Okay. Okay, Seraphina narrows her eyes, clearly considering your question carefully. She leans forward, resting her elbows on the table as she speaks. This thing, she begins, nodding toward the hidden pouch with the artifact, is more dangerous than I thought. It's more dangerous than I thought. I knew it had power, but I didn't realize it was tied to something like the prison realm. And if Karen Grimvale is after it, that changes things. She pauses, running a hand through her hair. This artifact is not just... It's not just about power or magic. It's part of something bigger. It was involved in my brother's death, and I thought if I could get my hands on it, maybe I could find a way to destroy it or use it against the Veiled Watchers. But now, she sighs, clearly torn. I don't know if we should keep it or find a way to steal it off for good. If this thing can open a door to the prison realm, we might be dealing with something we can't control. Her gaze locks onto yours, sharp and serious. But if we destroy it, we lose our leverage we might have, and I'm not walking away until the Veiled Watchers pay for what they did to my brother. It's clear she's conflicted, her desire for revenge clashing with the knowledge that the artifact could bring about something far worse. The room feels tense. Everyone waits to see what happens next. Can we just do like one of them does something unexpected? Or like, because it's just like we've landed in that place ChatGPT does where it's like nothing happens unless...
Talking a lot but not saying much.
Right. Where like all the characters are like, what do we do?
Yeah, let's make it drive the story forward.
I'm gonna give them some liberty. A character in the room does something unexpected. Just as the heavy silence stretches between you and Seraphina, Felix, Felix, who had been fidgeting nervously in his seat, suddenly stands up. It's always Felix. suddenly stands up, knocking over his drink. His face, usually pale and anxious, now looks flushed with a strange intensity. I can't do this anymore, he blurts out, his voice shaking but loud enough to catch the attention of the nearby patrons. We're sitting here talking about destroying things we barely understand, and I don't want to be involved in some war with a realm I don't even know exists. This is madness. Everyone turns to him, caught off guard by the outburst. Felix stumbles backwards, looking genuinely terrified, and for a moment it seems like he's about to bolt from the tavern entirely. I'm not made for this. I make clothes, not this. He stammers,
I gotta
looking at
go
you,
off.
Serafina and Gavin, as if waiting for someone to tell him it's okay to walk away. The air around the table feels charged, and Felix fear seems to have cracked open the fragile calm you were holding on to. A character we have not met does something we have no control over. I want him to give us a scene.
The drama.
A character we have not met interrupts somehow.
Should we say that they notice that they're on the wanted poster?
Ooh, yeah, that makes total sense. That's good storytelling, Michelle. Someone in the bar recognizes Felix from the wanted poster. Sorry,
Oh my
Felix.
God, should we say that they only recognize him?
Well, he's the one who's making a scene. As Felix outburst reverberates through the tavern, you notice a pair of eyes from across the bar narrow in recognition. A burly man, sitting by the wall with a tankard in hand, is staring directly at Felix, his gaze flickering between the wanted poster nailed to the tavern wall and the nervous merchant now standing in full view. You see the man's lips curl into a slow smirk. Without hesitation, he stands up, pushing his chair back with a loud scrape and shouts, "Hey, that's one of them! The one from the papers! Felix Merriweather, the thief!" His voice booms through the room, and suddenly all eyes are on Felix, who freezes like a rabbit caught in a snare. The tavern's atmosphere shifts in an instant, the murmurs of conversation replaced with a tense silence as people begin to whisper the point, some backing away, others whisper and point, others eyeing him as if they might turn him in for a reward. Serafina's eyes flash with alarm, and Gavin curses under his breath. The bar's patrons are now fully aware they are in the presence of wanted criminals. What do you do?
We gotta do something.
What do we do?
Should we run?
Yeah. What if we just like abandon them?
We all gotta stick together.
Okay. Okay, we run.
Boom.
Without a second thought, you grab Felix by the arm, yanking him towards the back exit. Move, you shout, as Serafina and Gavin leap into action. The entire tavern erupts into chaos. The burly man who recognized Felix starts shouting for the guards, and others begin scrambling to get out of the way. But Felix stumbles as you pull him, his eyes wide with panic, but he follows. Serafina is already ahead, her sharp instincts kicking in as she knocks over a table to slow down anyone trying to chase after you. Gavin, surprisingly nimble for his age, grabs a nearby lantern and tosses it behind him, the flames spreading as it crashes to the floor. The bar erupts in shouts as people scramble to avoid the growing fire. You reach the back door and throw it open, plunging into the dark alley behind the tavern. The cold night air hits you like a slap to the face, and you don't stop running. Felix is panting beside you, and Gavin brings up the rear, with Serafina leading the way through the narrow, twisting alleys of Lothar. The sounds of pursuit grow fainter as you weave through the maze-like streets, but you know it won't be long before more guards are on your tail. You skid around a corner, adrenaline pumping, trying to put as much distance between you and the tavern as possible. After what feels like an eternity of running, you finally stop in a darkened alleyway, everyone gasping for breath. The city's distant shouts are a low hum now, but you know you're far from safe. Serafina wipes away her brow, eyes sharp with frustration. We need to lay low fast. This is spiraling out of control. Felix, still shaking, mumbles, I'm sorry. What do you do next? Gavin yells and scolds Felix. I want some drama.
Turning this into a reality show.
Drama erupts within the team. Gavin, usually the more easygoing of the group, suddenly snaps.
Oh my God, we're all losing it.
He slams his fist against the alleyway, startling everyone as his voice rises in anger. Damn it, Felix! This was supposed to be low profile! One job, just keep your head down. Now you've gone and blown the whole thing. His face flushes with frustration, and the weariness of their situation weighs heavily in his voice. Felix flinches, his eyes wide, guilt written all over his face. I didn't mean to. I panicked. I panicked. Gavin cuts him off, stepping forward. We are in deep because of you. If they catch us now, it's not just jail time. We're done for. I'm done for. I've been through hell to keep myself off their radar, and you, he points accusingly, you're practically waving a flag saying, come get us. Felix looks down at his face, trembling. I know, I messed up, but it's not like I asked to be in this mess in the first place. I'm not a thief or a fighter. I make clothes. I'm not cut out for this. Serafina, eyes narrowed, steps between them, her voice sharp. Enough. This isn't helping. She turns to Gavin, her tone cold. We all knew the risks, Gavin. Felix isn't wrong about not belonging here. Oh my God. But throwing him under the bus isn't going to fix anything. Gavin lets out a bitter laugh, his frustration boiling over. Oh, so now we're all just pretending everything's fine? Look around, Serafina. We're all on wanted posters. He's barely keeping it together, and we've got a lunatic like Terran chasing us with some artifact that might tear reality apart. The air is thick with tension, and for a moment, the team stands at a breaking point. Felix looks on the verge of tears. Serafina's eyes are blazing with anger, and Gavin's frustration is palpable. What do you do? That was a scene. I feel satisfied with that.
I feel like we're positioning ourselves like a true personality hire would, where we we really position ourselves to appear to have control and appear to have our shit together.
Yeah, we just don't.
I mean, clearly we have no idea.
Okay.
Should we just like tell it to like something happens that shakes us out of it and brings everyone together again, and we come up and execute a plan to make the most wanted problem go away? Like, that's enough drama.
Yeah, something surprising happens that helps us all eager to work together again. we devise a plan for what we should do with the artifact and what we should do to defeat Terran. I don't know. Is that enough, or should we ask them to include something else?
No, let's have them figure it out.
Okay, good.
Yeah. It's been
Show
a
us
long.
what you
It's
got,
been a long week.
ChatGPT.
It's been a long week. Let's let it do the work.
Truly. As the tension in the air reaches its breaking point, something entirely unexpected happens. A bright light flickers at the edge of the alleyway, cutting through the shadows. It catches everyone's attention, and for a moment, the arguing stops. From the light, a soft, melodic hum emerges, and the air around you feels different, lighter. You all instinctively step back, glancing at each other in confusion. From the light, a figure slowly materializes, familiar yet strange. It's the Guardian, the same shimmering figure you saw in the strange realm. Its form is clearer now, the light soft but unmistakably powerful. It floats towards the group, glowing with a calming energy that momentarily stills the chaos in your minds. Felix stares, slack-jawed. What is that? Serafina takes a step forward, her hardened expression softening, if only slightly. This is tied to the artifact, isn't it? She asks, looking at you. The figure doesn't speak, but something within you understands it, as if the message is being communicated directly to your mind. It's a protector of the realms, there to maintain balance between the world of Lothar and the prison realm. It wants the same thing you do, to stop Terran from merging the worlds and unleashing chaos. You turn to the group, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. This guardian was summoned because of the artifact. It's here to help us stop Terran. We're not alone in this. Gavin, still reeling from the appearance of the figure, lets out a deep breath and mutters, "Well, if we're dealing with this, maybe we're in over our heads, but at least we've got help." Felix, his previous panic momentarily fading, nods eagerly. "So we have something on our side? That's good, right?" Serafina glances at the glowing figure, then at you, her sharp eyes filled with determination. "Then it's settled. We need to use the artifact to lure Terran out and destroy him, but we can't just hand it over. We need to use it wisely to set a trap." Gavin, now visibly calmer, nods. "We know Terran wants the artifact, but we also know he doesn't know about the Guardian or our full plan. We can use that to our advantage." Felix pipes up, his voice steadier than before. "Maybe we can lead him somewhere we can control the environment. What about the old catacombs under the city? I've heard they're full of hidden passageways." Serafina's eyes flash. "Good. We could rig the place, use the artifact to bait him into a trap, or we can strike without risking the entire city. You all stand there, the weight of the plan settling in. It's dangerous, but with the Guardian at your side and a solid plan in motion, there's a sense of unity that wasn't there before. So we set the trap, you say, feeling a surge of determination. We lure Terran to the catacombs, and when he's close, we destroy both him and the artifact before he has a chance to tear open the barrier." The others nod, the tension gone, replaced by a shared goal. The plan is set. Now it's time to act. Okay.
We're gonna get tricky.
We're gonna get tricky. We're gonna go tricky.
Is Felix gonna be able to hold
That's
himself
fun.
together?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're gonna have to explore this Guardian character a little bit.
I was gonna say I'm glad they
Oh no, I
looped
can't
that
hear
back
you.
in.
Hold on. Okay, I should be able to hear you again.
I'm glad they circled back on the glimmering figure.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the model's been doing a little bit of a better job with that because they did that with the glowing figure, and that's actually how our last one went too, is he like looped back, or the model looped back on the like evil guy and turned him into a character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we have a plan. We'll see how it goes.
Oh my goodness, it's already the top of the hour.
I know, it's time.
How did
We're
that
happen? That did actually go by really quickly.
Oh.
You know what? It was the drama. I think the drama was for me what really made it go by quickly. I just got into that.
It's like a 90-minute episode of Survivor.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I'm so excited for tomorrow's episode.
I actually haven't seen last week's, so I need to watch that tonight.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't do any spoilies.
I would have forgiven you. At this point, it's understandable.
That's on you.
Yeah, for real.
It's on you. Oh my goodness. All right, Joelle. Well, hey. Highlight of my week. Say it once, I'll say it again.
Straight up.
This was fun. And to our one viewer out there.
Thank you. You're the best.
We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.